Everybody, my name is Savannah, and what I do is I am a freelancer for e-commerce companies who are looking to grow their business using Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google, and Snapchat. So today I'm going to be specifically talking about how to grow your business with Snapchat ads. And the reason I'm very excited about Snapchat is because over the last year, I've seen tremendous growth for my clients on this platform, especially for those who are targeting that 13 to 25-year-old age group, and actually seeing better results than I am on Facebook. So I'm really excited to share what I've learned about Snapchat with you guys, and hopefully this will be very informative so that you can get started right away advertising on Snapchat for your business. So this is a bit about me. I'm a freelancer. I used to work at an ad agency where I led the Facebook and Snapchat media buying teams. And then last year spent over $10 million on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat profitably. And then there is my website if you wanted to get in touch. A few of the brands that I've worked with. So I work with solely e-commerce companies, ranging from apparel, accessories, makeup. These are just a few of the clients that I have worked on. So diving in, so something I did is I wanted to look at all of the data from 2019 to see where is it cheapest to advertise. So this is the data that I've collected. And as you can see, Snapchat comes in at the very bottom in terms of CPMs. So CPMs standing for cost per thousand impressions. So oftentimes on Snapchats, I'll see cost per thousand impressions under a dollar, around like a 50-cent range, compared to on Facebook feeds, which is notoriously the highest costing traffic placement, which can be ranging from $15 plus, especially during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, when everything spikes. But thought this was very interesting to share that even Instagram stories, which notoriously has cheaper delivery than, let's just say, Instagram feeds, that Snapchat is still 5 times cheaper to advertise on than Instagram stories. So I think this is a huge opportunity for e-commerce advertisers who are looking to diversify their ad spend. Maybe they're seeing fatigue on Facebook and Instagram, getting frustrated with the high cost of traffic and the competition. Snapchat has a lot less competition in terms of advertisers, so you're going to be able to take advantage of the cheaper placements, but also see greater return on ad spend. So like I mentioned, for my clients that are targeting those in the 13, 25-year-old age group, I'm actually seeing better return on ad spend in some cases on Snapchat than on Instagram and Facebook. So huge opportunity there for capitalizing on Gen Z. So let's dive in to Snapchat a bit. So it's known as the most creative mobile platform to make an impact. So many of you guys know Snapchat from the camera capabilities as a chat messaging platform, but it's really emerged as a great platform for advertisers to take advantage of, especially with their latest ad tech just released in 2019 over the last 6 months. It's really comparable to the type of ad technology on Facebook and Instagram. So a few fast facts to share with you guys. So Snapchat has over 218 million daily active users on average, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Users are known to be highly engaged, and I thought this was also interesting. 95% of Snapchatters says that the app makes them happy, happier than any other app tested, which I think comes down to just like the fun nature of the platform, like whether it's sharing with filters, sharing just photos with friends. And I think that's what makes it a great advertising platform as well, is that the content that for ads is very happy, like great natured, and very like organic looking. So I often get questions about Snapchat saying like, does anyone in the 13 to 25-year-old age group actually spend money on Snapchat? Absolutely. So millennials and Gen Z combined have over $1 trillion in spending power. So there is a definite rise of people in that 13 to even 18-year-old age group that are making purchasing decisions and are buying things straight from the Snapchat app. So they definitely do have an enormous buying power. And this is a great way to get your brand in front of Gen Z. And another interesting fact is that Snapchat reaches Gen Z better than any other platform, including Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and that 90% of 13 to 24-year-olds in the US have a Snapchat account. which is just mind-blowing. It is insanely popular in that age group. So if you have a product which is targeting that age group, it's so important to be on this platform. Great, so let's dive into the different type of Snap advertising placements. So the three I'm going to cover today are Snap ads, story ads, and collection ads. So Snap ads is probably what you're most familiar with if you have an Instagram account. What a Snap ad is, it's the 15-second interruption between your friends' stories. So while you're watching your friends' stories that they're posting on Snapchat, a Snap ad will basically interrupt that the same way that an Instagram story ad does and show your 15-second video with a swipe up call to action. So I'll show you a few of those examples. So here it is for an app install campaign. As you can see, it's very quick. These ads are often less than 10 seconds long and often use very native features. So as you can see here, they're using like a native Snapchat text, a swipe up GIF. This is the type of ads that really perform best on Snapchat if they look very native to the platform. So like I said, Snap ads are interrupting the feed, these 15-second ad max with the swipe up CTA to your website. So in terms of creative considerations for Snap ads, it's short and sweet and to the point. So it's not about telling a full story about your brand. It's very much about just capturing attention quickly and then encouraging people to swipe up, whether it's download your app, go to the website to get your offer. So short, impactful, creative. So some golden rules that I've seen from my brands that I've advertised on Snapchat is to feature a singular message. So don't try to tell too much at once. Keep your offer very clean, front and center, and also include some brand messaging. So including like your logo, as you can see they have on here, Postmates and Shake Shack, and also purposeful sound design. So many Snap ads will have a CTA of someone saying swipe up actually in the sound, since most Snap ads are viewed with sound on. And then also building it to send the message within 5 seconds or less. So people are very quickly swiping through these ads, same way that they do on Instagram stories. So keeping it short and sweet is really what's important here. So I think the brands that are going to succeed the most on Snapchat in 2020 are the ones that can really master this 5-second storytelling. So telling a story extraordinarily quickly. And then once people are on your website, then diving into more of the product benefits. It's really just about capturing attention quickly with Snap ads. So the second type of ad I'm going to introduce you guys to, and I'm going to show you how to build all of these after, is a collection ad. So why collection ads are great, especially for e-commerce brands, is that it'll actually show the products below the ad. So you can set up your product feed to automatically sync with Snapchat, or you can upload specific products here so that they can watch your video content and then they can click on the individual products to get to the product page. So I'll show you the example here for Dior. So I've personally seen really great results with collection ads just because people can see the products really clearly. They can understand where they're going on the website, and it just makes a really seamless shopping experience. So I would definitely recommend testing collection ads if you are an e-commerce brand. Here's a few more examples of this. So for this brand, the first ad, they just have a still image. So still imagery works well on Snapchat, especially with the collection ad format, because you can just be really clear with your offer and then have the products below. And then what North Face did is they did a short video of showing a few of the products in like a slideshow format while encouraging people to swipe up to the product page. So creative considerations, very similar to what I said about Snap ads, about keeping things very short and impactful, featuring a strong and relevant call to action. So being very deliberate with your offer, and then using purposeful sound design, again, encouraging people to swipe up, and then making sure that the attention is being driven to the thumbnails below. So making sure maybe your video is not too busy at the bottom of the ad, so that all of the attention is going towards the catalog. So as you can see there, that's what the functionality looks like. Very clear offer, and then clicking on the product below to go directly to the website. So other considerations to think of. So especially if you're going to be automatically syncing like your Shopify catalog to Snapchat, which is what I do with my clients, you want to make sure that the top creative is going to be relevant to your full product catalog, not maybe just focusing on one specific product, because they may be seeing many different product lines or categories in the feed below. So you want to make sure that the top snap video is general enough in order so it's not just focused on one product, since you're going to have multiple products featured below, which I think makes a lot of sense. So here again is what that looks like from the journey of being on Snapchat, seeing the ad, clicking on the tile, and then taking you to the website. So this is other data that I pulled from the accounts that I've worked on during 2019. So what I've seen, and this is not only relevant to Snapchat, but this is also data from Instagram and Facebook advertisers, is that the fastest growing advertisers tested 11x more creative, and this contributed to 3x more revenue growth. So just like any other platform where you're trying to master social media marketing, Snapchat is no different. Creative testing is truly at the heart of what makes advertisers win and succeed on this platform. And in my experience, I've seen the same thing. So with my clients, I'm consistently testing new creatives on Snapchat in order to try to increase return on ad spend. So I will show you a bit about how that creative testing process looks so that when you start advertising on Snapchat, you can have some ideas of ways that you can creative test with your existing assets. So here's an example of a few split tests you can run on Snapchat. So different tests you can run is using the same image, but testing different copy, using same copy, testing different images, also the production style, so endemic versus a polished style. What I've seen in my accounts is that the more endemic, native looking, like filmed on an iPhone style really works well on Snapchat for my clients. So that's definitely something to test. And then also videos versus boomerangs, testing the different formats on Snapchat. So running these tests will help you see which type of format is going to succeed the best for your brand. So here's an example from Postmates of how they did creative testing. So they kept the offer the same copy, but the only change that they made is donuts versus guac. So I could show you what these ads looked like. And then we have the guac. So this can be a very simple test that you can do with your e-commerce store. Let's just say you don't know what product is going to work best, or whether you have, let's just say, a lifestyle shoot and you're testing different images. This is a very simple test you can set up so that you can see which ones are going to perform the best pretty quickly. Here's one for a movie poster. So this is also a test you can do for your own brand, is trying a more like animated video versus a static image. Like I said before, I've seen static images perform well on Snapchat. So you're going to have to test it out for your own brand to see whether a video ad or a static of that ad is going to work the best. So this is another simple test you can set up. So in summary, for the story ads, short impactful messaging, that's really a key point here for e-commerce advertisers on Snapchat, continuing to creative test and also testing different formats. So stills versus video, collection ads versus regular story ads. So this is all going to be the bread and butter of advertising on Snapchat. So let's dive into the next and final ad format that I want to talk about today, which is story ads. So just to recap, so far we've talked about snap ads and collection ads. So snap ads are the ones that interrupt your feed. So if you're viewing your friend's stories, a Snap ad will interrupt it just like an IG story ad, and you'll see that 15-second video or text or image of your ad. Whereas the collection ad was the same concept of interrupting your friend's stories, however, it's showing your product feed. So the last and final ad format that I want to chat about is story ads. So what story ads are, for those of you who aren't familiar with the platform, is that they have this discover portion of the Snapchat platform. So different publishers will post videos here, but you can also buy your own tile. So this is what it looks like when you purchase a tile on the Discover feed. And here you can do longer form videos. And this is really great for e-commerce because then you can dive into the story a bit more than you could on a Snap ad where it's only a 10 or 15-second creative. Here you could have multiple ads in a row, all within this one tile. So you click on the tile, and I can show you this example from Under Armour. They did a really great job of doing a nice product reveal once you click on the tile. So it's a tap to reveal concept. I think this is extraordinarily creative. It very much resonates with the platform. And there you have it. There's Under Armour, and then you swipe up to shop from there. So I've been seeing a really great results using this story discover platform of buying a tile and then having the ad here. So this is definitely something you would want to test out. So when making your story ads, you can choose your objective. So for e-commerce, I mostly choose conversion-based campaigns because ultimately my goal is to drive conversions on the website. So when you're creating your campaigns, which I'll show you after this deck of how I go through the campaign process, for e-commerce, I would recommend doing a conversion-based campaign. And I wanted to show you some good examples that I've seen on Snapchat of great story creatives. So again, this is the Discover feed where you can buy a tile, and I'll show you what some other top e-commerce advertisers are doing in order to capitalize on this format. There we go. So for those of you who are advertising on Instagram stories, this type of format probably looks pretty familiar. So keeping it very short and sweet, but also utilizing stuff like user-generated content. The testimonial style really does well on Snapchat. And then also you can use your product catalog. So as you can see in the third example, it's pulling photos straight from the product feed, showing the price just as a dynamic product ad would on Facebook. So lots of great things to test out on Snapchat. So some golden rules when utilizing these snap tiles: clear branding. So as you can see in this movement ad, they have their logo at the top, 5 hottest watches this summer, very clear product photography, and then keeping creative focused on one product, and then creating that curiosity gap. So you want to be intriguing enough so that people want to click on the tile to watch your video. So I really like this example of 5 hottest watches this summer because it intrigues the user to click on it and see what those are. So that's an idea that you can test out as well. And just the way that you would test with Snap ads, you can test different headlines, different imagery in order to see what's going to work best for you for these Discover tiles. So some best practices is narrative alignment. So making sure that whatever the tile is that it's going to be aligned with the video that they see as well as what the landing page is. So as you can see, this is a smile teeth campaign, and this says Connor is obsessed with this. So it's intriguing enough. So you're like, obsessed with what? They don't directly put their brand name here, which is interesting. They just put their logo. So it intrigues the user enough to be like, what is Connor obsessed with? So let's find out. So again, utilizing testimonial style UGC, Connor's clearly filmed this on his iPhone. Connor is obsessed with his teeth whitening kit, and then it goes into more of a value prop video of High Smile, and then connecting that to the landing page. People are swiping up to the test whitening kit. So this is a really great example of what you can do on the Discover feed. Here's another one with FabFitFun. So with these Discover ads, you can, like I said before, you could have multiple snaps in a row. So the two things that people can do when they're interacting with your ads is they can either tap to keep watching the video and see the next sequence, or ultimately swipe up to get to your website. So I can show you what that looks like. Oh, this one doesn't have a video. That's all right. So another best practice is to use end cards. And this is something that many advertisers forget, but it's so important, even on Instagram story ads, making sure that the call to action is really clear. So swipe up to shop. Ultimately, at the end of the video, you want people to swipe up. You don't want them to keep watching other videos on Snapchat. You want them to redirect to your website. So I'll play this one again. So here's the end of the ad, talking about the deodorant and then encouraging people to swipe up at the end. And then also utilizing the voice over CTA will help. So if you have someone in the background of the video saying swipe up to shop, just to reinforce it, since most people view these stories with sound on. And again, this is just a general best practice for any advertising on social media platforms. You want to make sure that the landing page that people are ending up on aligns with the creative. So making sure it's a seamless experience. You don't want them watching some video and then swiping up and then they're confused when they get to your website. Land them somewhere where it's very intuitive to sign up for your offer or buy. So here's another one from Smile Direct Club. And this is why I love the story Discover feed as opposed to just like the regular Snap ads, which are like the 15-second interrupting ads, is that you could tell a longer form story here. So, and then as you can see, they have the CTA of book now at the bottom. But I think this is a really great example of how brands are utilizing this longer form content in order to get people to the website. And as you can see, CTA here, swipe up, smile like Draymond Green. And they're utilizing native stuff like the emojis, which really resonates with that 13 to 25-year-old age group. And then very simple to sign up on their website. So a really great example to get inspired by for your own Snap ads. And again, just as it is with Snap ads, story ads, it's all about creative testing. So that's really what's going to be key and how I've been able to scale my brands on Snapchat is through this creative testing process. So here's an example of Wish's creative testing. So this one is a very simple creative test. So on the left side, we have copy variation 1. You won't believe how these great prices are, or you won't believe how great these prices are. And on the right, you won't believe how great these prices are on Wish. So literally just adding on Wish at the end to see which one is going to perform the best. So very simple headline variation test here. This one is testing a more endemic style. So UGC filmed on an iPhone, user-generated content, and then versus a more polished animation. So like I said, I personally see an endemic style to work really well on Snapchat, but it's definitely something that you should be testing out. And here's an example. So utilizing very native text, as you can see, like they wrote this on IG stories, like with like the very native IG story text and the paint feature. So it looks just like a story ad. It doesn't look like it's an ad, but rather it's something that maybe your friend or influencer could post. And then swiping up to the website. And here's the polished version. So very clearly made in the studio, a lot different feel, but these two different ads could resonate with different types of people. So maybe different age groups. They're talking about different value props, so it's definitely worth testing both different styles. And again, because they're using the story and discover feed, they can do longer form content so that you can really dive into the value props of your product. And then swipe it up to the website. Here's another great example from Hubble contacts to drive subscription. So as you can see from the Discover tile, tired of overpaying for daily contact lenses. And then we can watch that. So utilizing influencers, UGC, people talking to the camera, it's a formula. It's definitely something that you'll see as a trend. It's a lot of brands are utilizing this formula, and that's what I'm doing for my brands too. It's very organic looking testimonials, and then optimizing to swipe up to the website. And there you have it. Get the free box. Another great one from Invisalign. So this one is encouraging people to take a quiz. So it says, take the smile quiz for a chance to win a free treatment. As the tile image, they click on the tile. And then here's a video. It's a bit more of a polished look, but very short and sweet. And then leading people to the quiz landing page. So Fat Food Fun is a brand that I've been following for a while on Snapchat, and I think they do a really great job with their Snapchat ads. So they use Snapchat ads for top of the funnel prospecting and conversion campaigns, and they just completely understand how to talk to this 13 to 25-year-old female audience, utilizing both the Snap format and the story format. So definitely a brand to look out for as a brand that's doing a really great job of driving e-commerce conversions on Snapchat. And here's an example. So tap to see what's inside. I think that's an amazing call to action. Again, filmed on an iPhone, very native feeling to the app, having the text on there to swipe up, showing all the products. It's just so much fun, and you know exactly what you're getting to when you get to the landing page. And then here is the second ad with an offer of 40% off. I think this one is just a still image, encouraging people to swipe up. So this would be an example. So the first one is an example of a story ad. So like I said, story ads are the discover tiles, and then you can watch longer form video where the snap ads are the 10 or 15-second interruptive in your feed ads. So a static image or a short video are great for these type of ads. And then I also wanted to show you some of the ones that I've made for my clients. So I often will make my own creatives just by picking up my iPhone and making different Snapchat ads. So I wanted to show you an example. This first one is one I actually made on TikTok, and then I saved it, and then now I'm running it as a Snapchat ad, or I could run it as a Snapchat ad. So I'll show you an example of what that one looks like. And this is the type of content that works really well on Snap. So utilizing native GIFs, like filmed with an iPhone style, doesn't look like an ad, and encouraging people to swipe up the end. That's very important. This one is one I made on Instagram stories and saved it. So utilizing a poll and testimonial to see that they can whiten their teeth. And then I'm also testing more of a polished style, so utilizing a designer to create animations for me for Snap ads. So here's an example of one of those. So very short and sweet, product focused. And then lastly, here's one that was made in a studio, but is doing really well on Snapchat. So I can show you what this value prop video looks like. Great. Well, I hope that all these creative examples have gotten you so pumped up to advertise on Snapchat. It's truly a platform where you could be really creative and fun with your advertising. And so I've personally had so much fun advertising on Snapchat. So I'm really glad I was able to share with you some of the stuff that's working for me. And now we can dive into a bit more of what it actually takes to be advertising on the platform in terms of setting up your campaigns, your targeting, and making creatives on the Snapchat ad platform. So I hope this was helpful. And then I'm also giving away for all of Digital Marketer members for a 1K in Snap advertising credits. You guys should have the link in your portal. And so what you can do is if you're signing up for a new Snapchat ad account, you can use this link, and if you spend $1,000 on ads, you get $1,000 in credit. So it's a BOGO $1,000 offer. And then here's my contact information if you wanted to get in touch if you needed me to help you with any of your Snapchat ads. So let's dive in. So before oh wait, okay, I got a question. I was gonna hop in with a question. Okay. I Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, so for this one, I just saved it, so it's not, so they can't actually click on the poll for these ones. They would just tap and get to the website. No, so the poll feature isn't actually interactive in the way that it is on Instagram stories. Yeah, yeah, no problem. Is there any other questions on creatives before I dive into the campaign structure? Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can dive into that once I get into Snap Ads Manager. Cool. So everyone should have this link. It looks like it's in the chat in order to get um, the link for the Snapchat ad partner. So if you're just starting out on Snapchat, you'll end up on this landing page to receive $1,000 in credits. So I'm going to go through the process just as if I'm a new advertiser, so you can see from start to finish how to set up your Snapchat ad account and then set up your first campaigns. So what you'll do, you will create an ad. And you'll fill in some of your basic business info. It's going to ask you for your phone number. I think it's getting mad because I already have a Snapchat ad account. So I'm just going to log into my existing one. But this is pretty much the end of the process. You just put in your business info, and then it's going to take you to Snapchat Ads Manager. So I will show you what that looks like. I will just log in with my own. And you can log in with your Snapchat account. So if you are just a regular Snapchat user, you can use your Snapchat login to access Snapchat ads. So I'm going to go to a new ad account. So if you use that link, you enter in all your business details, you will end up on this page a couple steps later. And you'll see where you can get your $1,000 credits. You can see how far you are along in order to unlock that. So here's Snapchat Ads Manager. For those who have advertised on Facebook before, this probably looks pretty similar in terms of the campaign setup. So you have campaigns, ad sets, ads for your different categories, your ad sets being your audiences, where your ads are your actual creatives. So very similar flow to that, and you'll be able to see some of your top metrics here in terms of like daily campaign metrics. You can use the date picker to see metrics from different time periods. So a very intuitive platform. I've found that Snapchat ads have been actually a lot easier to navigate than Facebook Ads Manager. So if we're just getting started, something that you'll have to do is install your Snap Pixel to your website. So if you are a Shopify merchant, this makes this process extremely easy because you can literally just drag and drop your Snapchat Pixel ID into Snapchat Ads app on Shopify. So I can show you that process. If you don't have Shopify, there's instructions here of how you can manually code it on your website. But installing a Snap Pixel is the most important step because you want to be able to see from your Snapchat ads how many people are clicking on your products, adding things to cart, and ultimately purchasing. So you got to have this set up correctly before you get started. So to get to this point, I just went to menu, I went to Snap Pixel, you go to create, you can go to set up pixel. So if you don't have Shopify, you'll have to put this into your website. I'm sure there's documentation depending on what platform you're on. However, if you are Shopify, what you'll do is you'll copy this pixel ID number, really simple, and then you'll download the Snapchat Ads app from the Shopify App Store. So you can find this just by quickly searching for Shopify ads within the Shopify App Store. You'll see this. You'll add the app, and right when you add the app, you'll have the option to paste your Pixel ID. So what you'll do once you install, copy and paste this into the Snapchat ads, and then you'll also have a chance on that Snapchat ads app within Shopify to connect your catalog. So to create those collection format ads that I showed you guys before in the creative examples, you're going to want to have your catalog connected. So you can do that really seamlessly through the Shopify app integration. So once you have that set up, you'll be able to see all of your pixel tracking data inside of here. So that's extraordinarily helpful. And then let's go through the process of making some of your first ads. So, especially if you don't have any specific Snapchat creatives and you're just getting started advertising on Snapchat, I would definitely recommend utilizing the Snapchat Publisher, which already has some pre-made templates of what you can make on Snapchat ads. So I can show you an example of what that would look like. So from here, you can choose to either convert an existing video to vertical. So if you have a landscape video from YouTube, this will help you convert it to a vertical format. But what I like to use are these video templates. So these are templates made by Snapchat in order to follow Snapchat advertising best practices. So there's a ton of great easy templates to start from. So even if you just have product imagery, like here, if you just want to use your product on white images, you can get started on Snapchat ads really easily. So I'm just going to use this first template in order to get started. And it is extraordinarily intuitive to make your own Snapchat ads. So I'm going to start with editing my background media, replace. So something that's really cool is that you can actually import videos from your website. So if you already have images or photos on your website that you want to use, so example, if I want to type in one of my clients' websites and import media, it will scan your entire website and pull all that media into Snapchat ads. So it's like you don't even have to upload new photos. Like literally every photo used on your website is now here. That is super cool to me. So let's just say I want to use this one. And for this product, it's a baby wearing t-shirt. So I'm going to say, wear your baby in your shirt. And you can change the fonts and sizes and colors, of course, on here as well. And then you could change the logo, of course. You'll want to replace that with your own. So you can either upload ones from your library, which I've already uploaded one here. And there you have it. You have your first Snapchat ad. So it's so simple to create stuff inside of this Snapchat publisher. You can also do videos in here. It doesn't have to only be still images. So if I wanted to replace this with a video, I have a few videos already uploaded. So there's my UGC style video. And so this is going to make it really easy to test a lot of different formats, make new creatives. You could test different headlines, utilize those different templates that are available, and then you can review what it looks like. So there's my ad. I have my girl chatting about the tank top, my logo. I have a swipe up call to action. So it's so incredibly simple to make ads on Snapchat. I cannot reiterate that enough. So once you're happy with your ad, I'm going to say looks good. And then you can either download this. So let's just say you wanted to run this on Instagram stories. You can just download the video straight from here, or you can send to Snapchat Ad Manager, which is what I want to do to start advertising. So I'll click on here. Open an Ads Manager. And here you have it. So, like I said before, there's different types of snap ads you can run. So, the snap ad is just a single image that's interrupting your friend's feed. You could also make story ads from here. So, I'll show you how to do each of these three types. Not going to dive into filters or lenses today, as that requires a little more setup. And I don't think it's necessarily needed for e-commerce advertisers to get started. So, you'll be able to preview your ad. You're going to name it just like you would any other ad. Brand name. So the brand name is going to appear at the top left of your ad. So you want to make sure that you have these details entered. So as you can see, it just populated here. And then your headline. So mine is going to be Wear Your Baby. There it is. And then attachment is really important. So this is what people are going to do to navigate to your website. So you have different options, like if you wanted like a call to action or to watch a long form video, but 99.9% of the time for e-commerce, I want people to get to my website. And I will select my call to action as shop now, and then put my website URL here. So I'll copy and paste the Wallabu website just to keep going along with the same example. And what you can do, and this is kind of an advanced trick, is building the URL parameter. So if you want to be able to track in Google Analytics who's actually coming in through Snapchat ads, you'll probably want to set up your campaign sources in order so that it will pull in to your UTM tags that is coming through a Snapchat ad. That's something that I do, but not necessarily a crucial step, but I like having all my ads tagged. And then you can publish. So once you're happy with how your ad looks, then you can go ahead and publish it. And once you publish your ads, all of your ads are going to be available in your creative library. So just to show you, again, kind of the navigation features. If you go to manage ads, you're going to get to your dashboard where you can see metrics on how your ads are performing. If you go to Snap Publisher, this is where you get to make your own videos and utilize those templates. And then once you're done making your videos in Snap Publisher, in order to actually run them as ads, they're all going to end up in your creative library. So I run quite a few ads on Snapchat for different accounts. So as you can see, my ad library is quite large. So once you're done making your ad in Publisher, you can check mark your ad or click on it actually and push create campaign. So it's going to show you your ad details again. You're going to want your Snap Pixel on. It's only disabled because I haven't installed it for this account yet. Who will see your ad? So this is where you're going to pick your targeting. So very similar to how you would do targeting on Facebook or any other platform. So let's just say my target demo is females from 20 to 40. You can set it up just like that here. And then choosing your interests. So Snapchat has a lot of detailed interests, actually a lot more than I've seen through Facebook. And they actually have a partnership with Experian so that people who are purchasing from competitors or other categories, all of that credit card data is pulled and can be pulled into Snapchat in order to be used for your targeting. So if I wanted, this is a baby wearing t-shirt, I want people who are baby product shoppers. That seems just up my alley of type of people I would want to interact with. And you can even get very much more into the details of like baby formula buyers, disposable diaper buyers, Huggies brand, Pampers brand. Like the targeting in here and the data that they have available is so extraordinary. Diapers.com, like you can literally get so specific of where people are buying. So if I want to just do general baby product shoppers, to populate here, you can expand on your audience similar to how you would on Facebook with detailed targeting interest expansion if you wanted to. My product's very particular, so I'm not going to do that. You could also target custom audiences on Snapchat. So once you install the Snapchat Pixel, you'll be able to target people who have been to your site, viewed content in the last 30 days, past purchasers, added to cart. All those audiences are going to be available to advertise to. So you could choose to include or exclude those audiences from your campaign. So for instance, I want to exclude people who have been to my website and purchased before. I want to reach brand new people. And then here it'll tell you your audience size. So in the US, there's around 3 million people, which is in the green zone of not being too narrow or too broad, of moms in this 20 to 40-year-old age group. So that's a good audience size. And then also something to know is you could also create look-alike audiences within Snapchat. So it's very similar to the way that you would within Facebook Ads Manager is creating a look-alike based off people who've been to your website, purchased. These are really powerful audiences in order to find new customers. So there it is. You could set your budget. So on daily, I want to spend $20 on this ad. And then here's where you pick your goal. So when you first sign up for a new account, you're only going to have a limited amount of goals that you can advertise for. So the first one being swipe up. So swipe up is just like running a traffic campaign. You want people to get to your website, swipe up to it. However, in order to really see results on Snapchat, you want to be able to optimize for purchase. But as you can see on a new account, it's going to be grayed out since it says you don't have enough pixel events to optimize for this goal. So you have to start optimizing for these lower level events like swipe up, add to cart in order to unlock purchase. So once you start optimizing for swipe ups for a bit, then once you get enough pixel purchases from Snapchat, you'll be able to unlock the purchase conversion event, which I've seen usually takes around 100 purchases. So once you get 100 purchases from utilizing a lower level event like swipe up, then you'll be able to ultimately optimize for purchase, which is where you're really going to see the best results for e-commerce. So you kind of have to buy the data early on, season the pixel in a way before you can start optimizing for purchase. And then for bid, I like using target cost. So what target cost allows you to do is set up how much you're willing to pay per swipe up, purchase, whatever you're optimizing for. So if I want to say, so it's kind of like setting a cost per click target. Is the max I want to spend is $1 per swipe up. What auto bid will do is that it basically will spend your budget regardless of a target or what you want your max bid to be, just so you can see like what the average will be in terms of what your costs are. But if I want to be like more conservative with my budget, target cost or max bids are the way to go. So I've seen the best results for target cost with my clients. I think it's worth testing out. Similarly, if you are going to optimize for add to cart, then you could say, I'm willing to pay $5 per add to cart. And then you'll be able to publish your ad. So extraordinarily intuitive in terms of making your campaigns. I'm going to go through another example of doing it for a collection ad. So if you're in Creative Library, if you don't want to do Publisher in terms of making your own template, you can just do a new creative straight from here. Click on the ad format that you want. Collection ad 1. You're going to fill in all that same good info. Yep. And then top stat media, that's the video that's going to play in the background. So you can use you can create one from a template. You can upload one from your computer, or you can browse an existing video. So let's just say I wanted to use the same video that I made for my other ad, which actually doesn't look bad because the logo goes right above the products. And then what you could do is either you could import your products from your Shopify catalog, or you could just upload individual thumbnails for your product. So I'm going to go through that process of just uploading thumbnails. So I pulled some of my product photography here. Hopefully that loads. Well, it doesn't want to load today, but in general, it loads. Could just be my internet speed right now. But what you would do is you would upload your product images, and then it would show under here under the products. I think it says that my file sizes are too big, so I'll need to go back and make some smaller photos to upload. But really simple to make the collection ads, just to have the product show below. And then you would just put your website URL of where you want people to end up. So typically that will be on the product page of that product. So super similar process. Lastly, I will take you through the story ad. So as a reminder, story ads is where you're buying that tile on the Discover feed. So you would upload the background that you want for that tile. So this is another brand that I just made some ads for. So I already have that preloaded. So upload the background. You can upload a logo. There you have it. And then your headline. So this is a super thin phone case. So I'm going to say something like, meet the thinnest phone case. And that will show up like that. And then once people click on the tile, this is where your different stories will show. So you can, again, create one for a template or browse an existing video that you already have uploaded. So I already have some videos uploaded that I would want to use. So once people click on the tile, they will be navigated to this video. And you could pick multiple videos to show in a row. So that's like the cool thing about Discover tiles is that you can have people click through different videos and then ultimately swipe up. So here's another ad that I'm running. Again, following those best practices of looking very native, not too polished is what I found to work really well, especially for this account. And then encouraging those to swipe up. So I'm just going to choose a few different videos here. Oops, I accidentally clicked create. Again, if you wanted to make one from a template, you can do that straight from here, but I'm just going to browse for my existing. And then you want to add an attachment to each of these. So I ultimately want people to purchase on the website, so make sure to set your call to action, have your website filled out. So it's definitely an easy mistake to forget to put an attachment here. So you want to really make sure that you double check that you're not forgetting these steps. And so I'm doing my last one, website, shop now. There we have it, where we picked the background and the logo, and then the same type of deal that you want to have your brand and your headline showing on the ad. And I always choose auto advance for this style because what loop each snap will do is it'll replay each video that's loaded up here, where I want people to just continue on to the next. So that's what auto advance means. And then once you're happy with how that looks, you can see what it looks like when you click on it. You can go publish. So I hope what you guys can see from this process is that it's really simple to create your first ads on Snapchat. It shouldn't be scary, very intuitive in terms of my experience. So once that's done, you can click on the story ad, click create campaign, and go through that same process. All of the information you put for your ad is going to auto-populate. You're going to pick your targeting, your goals in terms of what you're optimizing for, and then create your ad, and you're good to go. So very intuitive process. And in terms of metrics and analyzing your performance, that's all going to show up inside of your Snapchat Ads Manager. So what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to set up your columns just as you would on Facebook ads in terms of saying like, okay, what ROAS or return on ad spend am I getting? That's obviously one you would want on your dashboard. Spend, I like to see impressions and cost per impression. Swipe ups, eCPSU is cost per swipe up. And you can also see like how many people are adding to cart on your Snap ads, cost per add to cart. So every metric that you would want to see on your Snap campaigns, once you have those live, you'll be able to measure. So it's all about implementing your Snap Pixel, first of all, creating some Snap ads through the Snap Publisher Studio, and then following that process to launch your first campaigns, and then measuring performance. So like I mentioned, when you're optimizing for a lower level event like swipe ups, you're going to see most likely some below average performance when you first start out, from my experience. But once you're able to season the pixel a bit, and so Snapchat can learn who your ideal customer is, that's when I really started seeing the best results once I can optimize for purchase for e-commerce campaigns. And then from there, following that creative testing process I talked about earlier, so testing different headlines, different video formats, that's really going to be where you'll be able to find success on Snapchat. So I hope this was helpful. Please, happy to answer any questions at this time, or definitely get in touch with me through my Twitter, social_Savannah. Hi. Oh, thank you. Nice. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a great question. So you can set up your attribution windows similarly to you do on Facebook. So I usually will do the default, which is a 28-day swipe up and 1-day view. So in terms of attribution, if you're advertising heavily on like Instagram and Facebook, you're definitely going to see some cross attribution on Snapchat. So people who are maybe found you from a Facebook ad, or then viewed your ad on Snapchat that same day, and that attribution coming in. So it's going to be different from every brand in terms of what attribution window works for you. You can set it as limited to a 1-day swipe up. So if you only want to measure success by people who are swiping up on your Snap ad that same day, you can set that too. But in general, a 28-day swipe up, 1-day view has been a good attribution window. Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's going to be different depending on your product price. So, like I said, in order to really start seeing the best results on Snapchat when you can optimize for purchase. You'll need 100 purchases on the pixel in order to unlock that or about it. So you can kind of see what like your monthly or daily budget can be if you're trying to get 100 purchases. So I would think about it in those terms. Yeah, thanks, Maya. Yep, social underscore Savannah, or you can email me at Savannah at thesocialsavannah.com. Thanks so much.